and the fact that men are apparently not supposed to celebrate their birthday. Apparently, it's like kind of a common thing.
What? I didn't
I
really
don't
get that
know
in an episode
what.
or in real life. The men aren't supposed to celebrate the birthday thing.
Maybe not celebrate. He was more like you're just not supposed to acknowledge it, or
Gen
not acknowledge it.
or
Bring it up.
Gen
Same
or
you.
Senko. I didn't get that either. Maybe I just missed that
Yeah.
implication.
I mean, well, he has a straight up line where he says like you're not like guys don't tend to mention when their birthday is.
Ah, okay. I feel like it's
That was the
mentioning
whole
though, not like
that was the whole point
celebrating.
of the whole. He wrote down the day he was unfrozen, and
Yeah,
Gen figured out based on his questions. Yeah,
I love
so I guess
Gen.
you just straight up missed that. Um, but yeah, that's apparently like a somewhat common viewpoint I found is that acknowledging your birthday after a certain point is like kind of tacky.
Just for men or just in general?
Kind of in general, but more so for men.
Okay. I have not personally seen that stereotype much around. I guess mostly because it doesn't lend itself to be noticed. Because the entire
Hmm.
point is that it shouldn't be noticed.
Yeah,
So
and
I
we're
can
only
see that.
just sort of aging into it.
Yeah, I guess so. Hmm. Well, anyways.
I mean, it's more
Yeah.
of a thing of like I guess once you get to like into your 30s and stuff, like people have families, and it becomes less about like
You and more about
celebrating your birth. Yeah,
one
it's
can
your
get
kids
drunk.
and all that shit.
Just get drunk on your kid's birthday. That's what my parents did.
And whether or not like we're going to celebrate my birthday, and then all of your friends who also have kids have to be like, okay, am I going to bring my kid to their house to celebrate their birthday, or am I going to fucking find a sitter for this shit?
And babysitters. Do you think we'll at some point have virtual babysitters?
Virtual
Virtual
babysitters?
babysitters.
I don't want that to be a thing.
I don't know if it. I don't know if it can be a thing. Because like a babysitter, because like can like do physical stuff,
Uh-huh.
and if we had a virtual babysitter, we'd need like some sort of robot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's basically what I'm imagining. Is
Yeah.
like you can't just have a machine that
Well, not even a machine,
is
but just like
not
a
an
computer.
AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you basically need an AI, if anything, to be a babysitter. And in a world where there is an AI that possesses some ability to like interact with kids and stop them from like fucking hurting themselves and shit, I don't know if I would like that much. I mean, to be fair, I'm not really a huge fan of like the amount of how much kids use technology now. Like it's
Mhm.
weird to me that we give like 5-year-olds fucking iPads and iPhones and shit and just let them like entertain themselves with apps. That's weird to me.
It's similar to the TV babysitter thing that was a thing like a couple years ago.
It's true.
But
And at the same time,
there's no
a
level
lot
of
of my
interaction.
childhood was get the fuck out of the house, which is exactly how I'm going to parent my kid is, bitch, why the fuck do you think you need an iPad?
There's a
Get out of my
backyard. Get
house.
out.
Exactly.
Go outside, but don't get caught up by strangers. I don't know, hurt yourself on some bamboo.
Yeah. I learned all sorts of shit from fucking playing outside. Learned the importance of helmets firsthand. Fucking busted my noodle open. I passed out in my garage because I busted my head fucking jumping on a what the fuck are those things called? The pogo stick.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Fucking hate pogo sticks. I could
I
never
gave myself
jump
a
on them.
concussion basically.
Well,
When I woke up, I walked inside. And my parents were like, "Well, you idiot! Did you learn how important fucking helmets are?" And I was like, yes, I did. In fact, won't do that again."
which I guess brings me to this: were they wearing helmets in Doctor Stone while they were
Uh,
spelunking? Because I know
well,
they
they
had the
had like
lights.
hat things. Yeah,
I don't know if those were hard hat certified.
I
So
don't think they
if there's a
were.
rock falling, it's gonna hurt your noggin.
They certainly weren't, up to union standards.
Yeah. Well, anyways, this is episode 84 of ABC. I am Brandon,
I'm Nick.
and we're here to talk about Doctor Stone
There we are.
and the spelunking Terraria, Minecraft, other spelunking games episode.
Brandon's really on this splunking game thing. It was like a 1 second throwaway bit at the start of the
I mean, they're still
episode.
spelunking though.
I mean, okay, but it was like a one-shot thing was the game part of it. I
The
don't think
game
it
part,
was an
yeah.
allusion to a game at all.
In this episode, I don't think so. Aside from the flashback, but that doesn't really count.
No. They just had a shot of, yeah, like some random 16-bit game where people go in a cave. I mean, fuck, that could just be like one of the fucking levels from Metroid for all I know.
I think it was just a generic, make it look like a video game thing, or it could have been a game that never released in the U.S. I don't know.
I mean,
They
it
should have
probably
used
was
Dig
just a
Dug.
generic
They
thing.
should have used Dig Dug.
Why? The game was bad.
It was just Dig Dug. They're digging
All
dugging.
you did was, yeah, all you did was dig down. They weren't digging at all.
That's
There was
true.
no digging.
They should have used that game where you're like a little rover and you're digging down into the tunnels to collect minerals. I used to play that
I
game on
actually saw
Miniclip.
somebody. Yeah, I just saw somebody playing that game in one of my classes recently.
Yeah, I think it's a mobile game now.
I think so. She was fucking like going to town. She had like a whole like mine shaft she went down. It was a long class, and I spent a long time analyzing her gameplay from the corner. She had a very efficient system, I have to say.
Oh, well, good for her.
Yeah. I
So,
have no idea how well she was doing because I was too far away to analyze, like,
is she
you
making
know,
money? Is this
exactly.
a
Is
good
this
venture?
effective? But it was fun to watch her drop down the shaft for like 2 minutes.
And then just at the last minute, do a little
Little up tap, so whoop,
yeah,
it just stops
for the
just enough.
jet.
Yep. It was very satisfying to watch.
Well, yeah. If you couldn't tell, most of this episode was spent inside caves, searching for the Sheelite, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Skeelite. In order to get the tungsten.
They pronounce the SCH weirdly, like weirdly hard. I think it's just Sheelite.
Okay. I've never actually like heard of that mineral or listened to someone say that mineral name, so I don't know.
Understandable.
But yeah, most of this episode is spent in the caves. We have a little problem where we have Senku and Magma fall into a pit because a lot of this cave is made out of. Damn it, I forgot what the mineral is called. But
Mica.
Mica, there we go. It's a very like brittle mineral, and they mentioned this in the show. Like you can basically break it with your hands. And for one of my geology classes, I got confused with geography and geology. But for one of my geology classes, we actually had a piece of it and we could break it up. If I remember right, it was made from. It usually is made in like riverbeds, and over time it makes sheets, and because of the current, kind of settles the sediment in that way. But yeah, it breaks really quickly, as you saw here, where they fall into the pit, and now they're stuck in the pit. What are they gonna do? Not break their arms or legs, which was kind of weird because that was a pretty big drop.
It was a big drop onto a hard, rocky surface. I'm surprised one of them was not more injured.
Let's pretend it was they fell in water or something. I don't know.
All right.
That's not what we're
sure.
here for.
Is that all you got?
I think so.
Okay.
It's kind of a blur.
No, it's been a while. Okay. Yeah, so you skipped over a couple sort of more.
Important parts. I think I'm skipping over some Magma's character development.
Yeah, where you have Magma try to basically, as they first encounter the Mica, they kind of gave it away with the shot of like Senku standing on the Mica and like something cracks and we see Senku's feet, and then Magma shoves him to try and ostensibly kill him, but in actuality save him from falling in the pit that Magma then falls in. Senku grabs him because, leave no man behind kind of thing. Meanwhile, Chrome is like, he's an asshole. Didn't you just see him push you into that hole that just happened just now, right where you were standing? Kind of upset with Chrome to not figure that one out. But so Magma basically sees like everyone hates him, so he tries to like int basically and say, "That's right, I'm trying to murder you. Now let me go so that I die. You'll definitely not figure out that I'm sacrificing myself for the greater good."
Oh no, Sundere.
But yes, they fall down the pit together. We have Chrome learns how to siphon gas.
Water.
With in the
liquids.
form of water with tubes. But yeah, that's how you siphon gas right there.
That's rule number 5 of Zombieland.
They don't show you the most important part, which is while you're breathing in the tube, you want to stop just in time so you don't breathe down a load of gasoline.
Yeah.
Because that's a good way to melt your lungs.
Charlie, have you been drinking gasoline? Oh yeah, someone that got in there, man.
But yeah, so he pours the water. He pours the water into the pit that they're in via whatever the fuck it's called. I don't remember. Reverse suction, basically.
Call it the suck.
The water is supposed to be lukewarm, but Senku still manages to almost contract hypothermia. As they were filling up the pit, I kind of knew where it was going because you see Senku freezing his balls off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they're gonna do like the naked hug in the pit to like conserve body warmth.
But no, that was the joke later on.
that was a joke later on of the worst possible thing.
which was
Senku and Magma would have to hug each other.
very
And then,
explicitly.
yeah. And then we get the treasure trove of the cave with all the different rocks, and we had a nice little science explanation of how rocks form. I don't know shit about geology, so I'm just gonna go ahead and believe it.
Yeah, so
Uh,
with the granite, like was it granite? It was some rock broken up, some heat resistant rock when it breaks and smashes and stuff.
oh,
With the
limestone.
limestone, there we go. With the Earth's movement, it'll create cracks. Magma seeps into those cracks, and parts of that magma are liquefied minerals and shit, and that's where they kind of cement. And that's what we had. That's where we got this formation.
Yeah. And all the different cracks over time develop different types of like minerals based on whatever is in the lava or the
Yeah.
magma.
Mm-hmm. Lava, magma, whatever.
Yeah, who cares?
Same shit.
But so at the end of this, we have Chrome, who decides because this is a shonen, he has to have some sort of shonen line. So he decides to say out loud in front of everybody, "The true treasure wasn't the rocks that we found, but the friendships we've crafted along the way." And then,
Doing his best weirdo middle school cringy shit.
yeah, and I love that as it's like doing that, it's doing the shonen thing of like there's like inspiring music playing behind it, like we're super best friends. We've overcome such hardships, like da 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 da, and then it cuts to the other two, and the music just stops as they're both like, "Oh my god, you're so disgusting. Stay away from me."
There's a callback later on.
And then we go off, and yeah, we see that Magma really does care because he drags them home. He forces the two of them to come home,
Mm-hmm.
get away from their rock, and they come back home just in time for Senku's birthday. And Senku thinks he's being betrayed because a man doesn't acknowledge his birthday or whatever it was he said. And we see that in actuality, Gen figured it out through some leading questions, and because ever since they first saw where Senku revived, he's always respected Senku. So we could see that Gen is a little bit of a fanboy for Senku.
Again, is my boy.
Gen's pretty cool. I like Gen.
Better than fucking Jinro.
It's true.
Oh, Jinro, you little fuck up baby.
As yeah, Senku sees his nicely crafted fuck, what is it called? A telescope?
Yes.
As they've crafted an observatory for him, and Ginro, of course, can't just let nice things be. He has to be a little bit of a scumbag about it, and so he kind of comes in with the, "You're gonna cry, right? Cry like a baby, cry your eyes out." So yeah, we have Ginro to be a dickhead a little bit about it.
Who punches Ginro? Someone punches Ginro, I thought. Or was that just in my head?
I think that was just in your head.
Aww.
I don't remember Ginro getting punched. But yeah, Senku has a telescope now.
He sees
Presumably,
Jupiter.
this is leading up to going to space. I mean,
Presumably.
everything that's happened is like had some tie to go to space, so I assume we're going to get there. I just don't know why.
Oh, why not? He wants to.
Maybe.
We're gonna get there in a bamboo ship. Mark my words.
What this is actually leading up to is probably he's going to create satellites for some reason.
For the radios and for the for the telephones.
Yeah.
Wait, telephones don't use satellite. Never mind.
He's going to launch a fuck ton of satellites up into the sky for whatever reason.
He's gonna make a laser.
A laser.
Yeah, he's gonna use the laser to fight Tsukasa. What could be easier? Just head down the tech tree, get laser, win, boom, done.
I've got sharks with frickin' lasers on their frickin' heads. He's going to turn into Doctor Evil.
Yeah, this was a very nice episode, especially towards the end. It was very nice and heartwarming.
Yeah.
We
We get to see sort of like the redemption of Magma as he actually saved them.
Yes, we have that was redemption. Chrome is kind of like being pushed away from the best friend character, and now it's Gen, kind of.
Kind of.
There's kind of a like not really a rivalry, but I feel like outside of the show, it feels like they're both kind of vying for the position of being Senku's best friend. Mostly because Gen also did the whole thing with Christmas or mentioning Christmas to him.
Mm-hmm.
But Chrome was just always there, being a goon.
Yeah. Well, it's like because Chrome and Gen fill different important roles. Where like Chrome is the one that Senku can have like the science bromanship with, whereas Gen is the only one he can have like
Yeah, the connection back to his world.
yeah, where they both understand like how things used to be and like important days and time in the old world and stuff like that. So like Gen is the only one who understands like when Senku's birthday was and about Christmas and all the different holidays and like how important, stuff like that was.
Do you think we're gonna get any other holidays?
Um,
Because we have New Year's and Christmas.
we already passed over New Year's in the show.
I'm saying we already have
Oh yeah,
we
we
have New
did. I
Year's.
remember. Yeah,
That's how
we
we
did. We stood on
figured out
the
that she light.
right. I forgot about that because it was less
How
a.
about Valentine's Day? Do you think we can do something for that? Because we're about a month away.
Maybe. I mean, it's sort of inconveniently timed with like the war coming up.
Yeah.
There could be.
Do you think he'll try to make chocolate? Just give me some cacao fruits, just or what are they fruit? I'll say fruit, just somewhere in Japan, and he's gonna make chocolate.
Gonna make chocolate. Um, I think you need more than cacao. You also need sugar, I'm pretty sure.
They have sugar though, or they can make sugar, or
Huh.
processed sugar. I guess that's the better way to say it.
Yeah. Maybe
The
this
sugar,
is really inconvenient time. So maybe
yeah,
not this Valentine's Day, but like the next Valentine's Day.
okay. It'll be interesting to see if they end up doing it in this war arc for some reason. Well, no, they could still do it in this part, because the war isn't until spring,
Uh-huh.
right? So like in the middle, they could have like a little
A
5 minute
Valentine's Day
segment.
moment.
Yeah, they're like, hey, I made chocolate. They're like, why? Or all the other guys are like, why? I'm like, I just want to make chocolate. And Gen's like, oh, because it's Valentine's Day. You fucking tsundere. Just tell them about our world. But he won't because he's Senku.
I mean, guys giving chocolate is more of a white day thing, as far as I'm aware. So he probably won't do it for Valentine's Day, but he might do it for White Day.
I think. So if that in that case, I would say that Gen is going to manipulate all the girls to give him something that day, just so he can feel like it's Valentine's Day for him.
Yeah, now that Gen knows what day it is, he's just going to use it to torture Senku.
Basically. Aside from all that, fairly light episode. At least when it comes to our journey towards a phone radio thing and the
Uh-huh.
war itself. I feel like they'll need something else other than a phone to win the war, but I don't know what that would be. The power of friendship, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Um,
It's gonna come back.
I mean, they're going to use some bullshit about like how important communication is and how it like turns the tide of war.
They did already mention that, so probably.
So like, I'm assuming that whatever other invention is going to be like the useful thing for the combat side is going to be something small and easy, or like the communication thing is going to be like really the driving point of why they won the war. So like on top of communication would be like we invented I don't know, less shitty bows and arrows or something, long bows.
We invented the Japanese best archery bow. I don't know.
You mean the worst archery bow?
Isn't it the one that like has a very long upper half and small lower half, right?
Yeah,
Right, because it's a full body thing.
yeah. The bow is apparently
Right.
garbage for accuracy.
No.
Like apparently the whole like Japanese art of archery, which like how some anime have like
Archery
oh my
clubs.
god, he's in the archery club and like you see them doing like the shooting and it's super artistic and shit. It's literally just an art form. The accuracy on it is so garbage that people who win the competition don't necessarily get the most like accurate shots. Like they don't even necessarily hit the target. They
Huh.
just look the best shooting the bow.
Okay, so it's like a ritual like performance type thing,
Kind of, yeah.
similar to rifle spinning.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Except for with rifle spinning, you're not ever actually shooting
Spinning
the
a real
rifle.
rifle. Well,
Yeah.
actually, do you have to use a real rifle?
Not usually.
Okay.
Almost never, as far as I'm aware, do they use real rifles.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I did not know that. Yeah, I always assumed the Japanese
Like it was an
longbow
actual
would
bow.
be, yeah, like a functional weapon. Apparently, it's fucking garbage.
Well,
And only they taught like they didn't use it as like a mass fire thing because they only taught like super high class nobles how to use it basically. So like in every regard, it was non-functional as a weapon.
maybe they had like actual
Like
usable
short
bows.
bows,
Yeah.
maybe. All I know is that big ass bow that we see all over the place and stuff is yeah, not a real bow.
Okay. I remember I forgot what I was watching. It was like some documentary type shit, where they showed the skeleton of a dude who would shoot longbows from like the medieval era,
Uh-huh.
and like his right arm, because he was a righty, was like disconfigured. It was different. It was like elongated to his like left arm, basically, just because of all the pulling they had to do with their right arm.
Huh.
They would do it so
Interesting.
often that like there's the skeletal structure actually changed. Yeah, those
That's kind of
longbows.
interesting.
Yeah, those longbows had like 60, 70 pounds of like that you needed to pull back.
Yeah.
So they were tough.
I
But
know that there's a whole bunch of like random bullshit that goes around about like how they used to draw the bow. Like there was somebody who tried to insist like he's discovered the ancient art of medieval archery, and it was like they didn't draw the bow back all the way. They just used half draws to shoot faster and all this other crap. And somebody basically came out and was like, "You're wrong. You're wrong for so many reasons. It's actually hard to prove. Like it's hard to know where to start. You're so wrong. You're just wrong on a fundamental level."
well, he's not wrong about the you can shoot faster. I think longbows are usually used in the way back. Like you wouldn't put them up front so that the little half pulls would work.
Hmm.
You just shoot a volley of them. But anyways, we have another bowmaster here in our midst, and they're part of Cautious Hero, and they're also a fucking freak.
Yeah, they are.
Both the Cautious Hero and the other one, they're both fucking
Yeah.
freaks.
I really didn't see it going this way, and I don't know why I didn't. Because everyone in Cautious Hero is sort of ends up being a freak.
In a way, yeah. The least freaky person right now is the red-haired goddess. But I'm not
I would
entirely.
also say Sword Dude was also pretty non-freaky.
Yeah, he wasn't that freaky either.
He just
But
got his shit beat in.
that's because they were the first couple of gods, right?
Uh-huh.
So you need to like test the waters a little bit. First, you have like the big booby redhead that doesn't really do much, and you just whatever.
But it's apparently awesome.
Apparently, then you have like you're kind of very I don't know what word to describe him with, but he's very prideful. Sword dude who then gets his
Uh-huh.
pride completely broken and then becomes Baker.
Yes.
And then you start getting the other goddesses, like our main goddess, who will, on the turn of a dime, just want to eat up our main character. We have Adenella, who is I don't know, like the reverse corruption stereotype.
Uh-huh.
And then you've got our elf, who I 100% would think would 100% would be Alex's second favorite character, mostly because we've already seen his first favorite character.
Yeah. It's interesting that we had Adenella, who looks like she should be the Yandere character, and somehow ends up not being the Yandere character. It's the elf goddess who ends up being the creepy Yandere character.
Adenella's a bit yandere when she isn't being looked after by our main character, and he
Yeah.
immediately turns around. But that's not really the way to deal with the elf.
So, our elf goddess basically, we find out at the start of the episode that she's a fucking poonhound
Yeah.
who can't keep it in her pants. And basically, just any hero who spends any amount of time near her, she will have sex with him immediately.
Or try to. Well,
Or try to. No,
at this
well,
point,
it's
up until
implied
this point,
succeed.
yeah, it's been successful the entire time, or up until now.
Which is also implied that if you have sex with a goddess, it's like you basically have to go home and stop being a hero.
Yeah, you're
Don't really understand the
disqualified.
logic there, but whatever.
I don't know, something about not like being too helpful. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. It probably is. So they basically understand that Seiya's in trouble of not being a hero anymore because he's the 1 in 100 million, which we never talked about it, but that means there's like 70 of him in the world right now. So like, yeah, it would be inconvenient to have to find another one, but they definitely could find another Seiya. If he's 1 in 100 million, there are more of him.
Yeah, she just want to go through the work of one by one looking at those fucking resumes.
That's
Because
true.
she's a goddess, and apparently they don't have fucking computers. They know what
Yeah.
Patriot missiles are and guns, but not a goddamn whatever.
Yeah.
Let's carry on,
And they can't just, subcontract it out to like even more minor gods to do it for them.
right?
Anyways, so she goes off to the woods to basically save Seiya from, getting it in.
all while thinking to herself, she's the one that's going to be the one to
Yeah,
kick Seiya out.
right. If anybody's going to have sex with Seiya, it's got to be her
Yep.
because she's put in all the work so far. So she gets there just in time to see Seiya standing in front of really just something that's sort of indescribable. As
Yes.
they both stand there and stare at the goddess who is tied upside down for some reason in vines while naked.
It was just
And
rope, I
it was,
thought.
I
It's
couldn't really tell what it
something.
was.
Some ropey material.
It was attached to a tree and it was green, so I assumed vines, but rope also makes sense. It's hard to say.
I'll be completely honest. Of all the gods, I didn't think this one would be the one to have BDSM
It's true. After
things.
we had, yeah,
The actual
the
BDSM gods,
fucking,
basically.
yeah, the whips and chains excite me god from 2 episodes ago. Really expected it to be Valkyrie, but yeah, apparently apple licking elf goddess is going to be our BDSM
Yep.
goddess. Because she has tied herself up with rope and basically says, you have to shoot down 3 of the ropes to free me, and if like when you do, you will then catch me and we'll make passionate love together. It's a very weird final test.
Very
It's
weird, but
less
up her alley in more the ways
yeah,
than one.
it's less attempt to do this and more this is the way this is going to work.
You're going to do this, and we're both going to like it.
Exactly. And Seiya decides basically boom
No.
headshot.
How about not?
I don't really know what his logic was on the headshot. Maybe it was just enrage the goddess so that, he can get to the parts later, but yeah, he just shoots her in the face. Where we then are informed, yeah, you can't kill a goddess, so she just busts out of the rope herself and is then going to imitate a fucking demon as she crawls across the ground and says, "Stop me from raping you," but it's gonna happen anyways.
Sweetie swoogity, I'm coming for that booty.
Yeah. So he goes with a solid 3 shot now of 2 to the eyes and 1 to the mouth, but she just eats those arrows and keeps trucking on. And at this point, we have our 2 wonderful small dragon children show up in Elu and Mash. And we learn that she really has no,
Anything that moves, basically.
yeah, she really just doesn't have standards. She just
No.
looks at Mash and is like, this looks like a tasty appetizer. I'm gonna eat you first, snack. So then she's chasing down Mash, which, you know, on the one hand, you go like, he's young, maybe he does want to get it in, but at the same time, she's a creepy demon, so he books it.
He's also like, I don't know, 14, 12. I don't know.
Yeah, who the fuck
He's
knows?
also not into it because he immediately starts running away.
Yeah. Mash understands this is not the kind of person you want to have your first time with. So he's trying to get away, but she's a goddess and can't be tamed right now because she's on the fucking dick lust. But Seiya, our master of predictions, has seen this coming, and he's used Mash as a decoy so that he can 5-shot her into a tree so that she's stuck up against the tree.
Yeah,
This
because he mastered the
apparently,
5-shot, is enough for her to get off.
yeah, exactly. She gets off on the fact that, yeah, he has 5-shot her. He's blown his wide 5-shot load all over her body, and this gets her off.
Exactly.
And that's basically where the joke ends, as they go back to the real world and agree amongst themselves that that was deeply uncomfortable.
Did you notice that after after she's satisfied, her the censoring on her goes from the light beams, like the rainbow light beams, to just a little black circle.
I did. It was solid. I don't remember from last time, but I did notice. I was hoping it was just because she's hanging upside down, but her eyes were red the whole time. Don't think her eyes were ever red before. And I was hoping it was
I don't
just
think so.
because she's upside down and the blood is like pooling in her eye or pooling in her head, and so like the veins in her eyes would burst or something. I was really hoping it was just like a joke like that about being hung upside down for a really long time waiting. But yeah, it never really went away, so I guess they weren't making just a gravity joke, but I would have appreciated it.
I think it was just she's fucking crazy.
Yeah, she's the bloodlust.
Yep.
Probably.
And then we get to the second half of this episode, which gets more boring.
Yeah.
I stopped laughing and then just started waiting for this episode to end.
Kind of. I made myself laugh at the very end because we find out that the angry dog lady from last episode has predictably gotten angry at Seiya and gone off to do it herself and fight the fight the bug thing.
Yep.
So she runs off to fight the bug. Seiya goes after, basically
This,
sees what's happening.
despite the fact that it's actually only been an hour.
Yeah, it's been an hour. Somehow she gets a huge head start, despite the fact that Seiya can fly and she's using a horse or something. She somehow gets there first still, climbs up the tree, yells at the bug. She gets carried off, predictably. Seiya is going to go for like a sniper headshot thing, but instead, as the dog lady gets captured, he sends the goddess off to basically work as a distraction. Oh, excuse me. Shoots down some flies to make sure the goddess can get there. The goddess rolls up. They have she has a conversation with the bug. The bug realizes what's going on, so he flies really high up in the sky.
Keeps flying up in the
The
sky. Up
goddess
and up
goes
and up.
with, basically tries to distract him with like some normal everyday conversation about like, oh, it's a nice day today. We're having a good time. Things are definitely not awful right now. And then we get Seiya, who has mastered the 5 or the 7 shot or something at this point. So he launches like a surprise 7 shot. The bug guy,
Is, able
dodges
to
them all,
dodge.
goes to kill Seiya, but kind of predictably, the arrows,
Come back as hawks.
yeah, come back. Hawks. I didn't see
Phoenix
the hawks
fangs.
coming, but I saw them coming back. And they burst through the bug thing's chest, and it's dead.
Bam, bam, boom. Episode done.
Yeah,
Well, kind of. There's still a couple
kind
things
of.
left. May as well be done.
My favorite part, or not my favorite part, the reason I made myself laugh was because as the arrows came flying back through, it made me think of the Black Dynamite. Threw that shit before I walked in the room. As that basically was what happened. Seiya just shot a whole bunch of arrows in the air, made the bug god walk into them, and pulled off the "I threw that shit before I walked in the room, bitch."
Ah, I see what you mean. Oh, Black Dynamite. But
Black Panther brother is surprised.
intrepidly, I'll walk to the door. Yeah, we continue the trend where they're just goofing off in the goddess realm. It's super fucking hilarious. And then we go to the plot, and it's just there's no jokes. There's just fighting, which isn't even interesting because we know he's gonna win in like just a way. He'll just get some power and then win,
Yeah.
which doesn't really make for an interesting fight. Which I'm okay with as long as it's funny. But most of these fights haven't been.
Yeah.
Oh,
And like every demon has always been like, or pretty much every fight has always gone of the same sort of basic pattern of like, they predict some things and Seiya predicts more things and therefore wins, is
Yeah.
basically how it works out. Where they're like, haha, I knew that you would do X, and Seiya's like, yeah, I knew you would do everything that's happened so far, so this is why you're now in pieces and I'm not.
yes.
Except for the one fight where the guy told us how to win and Seiya was upset. That was the funniest fight, in my opinion.
Because it was yeah, because there was an actual joke in the fight. It was built into the fight. That's what it, like made it funny. But in the other ones, it's just been he just wins because he wins.
Yeah. But other than that, oh yeah, we went back to town and found that a tortoise has been summoned to eat the sacred armor. So Seiya now does not have the sacred sword or the sacred armor.
Which
It probably will not matter.
Yeah, it does not fucking matter. He's not going to use either of them. He's going to fight the summoner, beat the summoner. Actually, so there's usually a trend where they fight one of the bosses, go to the goddess realm, then go back, and keep doing the same thing over and over again. So I think they're going to go to the goddess realm. He's going to see that everything's fucked up, and he's going to be like, all right, whatever. I'm going to go train real quick, and then I'll come back. So
Yeah.
just sit tight.
Well, we haven't established that this guy is actually like strong, is the thing. Because usually he just bails out when they're strong in some way that he's not.
I think he's going to learn how to summon something.
Maybe.
So like the guy might not be strong, but the summon might be. Because it can eat adamantium, which is, I guess, the strongest thing in their world or whatever. So we'll see what goes on with
Maybe.
that. Actually, I don't even really care what goes on with that. I just want them to go back and fucking goof off. I want Valkyrie.
Yeah.
I want to see what she's about. If the elf is all about like tying herself up and trying to like get some poon on some people she shouldn't be, I want to see what Valkyrie's gonna do.
So far, we've seen the Valkyries into the lady, so who knows?
Right. Say's
Maybe
gonna have
she's
to
going to be
cross-dress.
defeated by Elalu. Say's going to have to cross-dress. That would be amazing. Maybe Elalu will be even more useful and somehow defeat Valkyrie.
She's useful. She has abilities now.
Yeah, she has an ability, technically two.
As we guess, she has support skills.
Yeah, we didn't see the haste thing. We saw better at transporting things, although I guess it is used for transporting things.
Because she hates someone else to do it faster.
Exactly. Go collect all the bug corpses so I can burn them. We did also get our Death March ant scene that I predicted last time, where as Seiya cleans up the ants, we get Seiya in a literal 2 frames. They toggle back and forth as he holds an arrow and then releases the arrow, and holds an arrow and releases the arrow. Literally just 2 scenes they toggled back and forth between.
To be fair, I think that was meant to be that way, just because he's supposed to be like a fucking Gatling gun, which I thought was pretty funny. I actually laughed
It
at
was
that
pretty
part.
funny.
He's going.
And then we have the other side, which is more the Death March ants scene, where it was like,
Or they're burning. Is that the
yeah,
part?
well,
Oh
no,
my-
it was the ants blowing up in the sky.
Oh, yeah. That didn't
It
look
was
right.
like 2 different scenes of the ants, like one coming from one side, the other one coming from the other side. I think it was the same group of ants. They were just panning in from different directions, and you just saw them blow up. And I'm pretty sure it was the same shot from different directions.
Oh, okay.
Like they just basically mirrored it and showed you the same thing in the opposite direction to try and convince you it was something else, but it was not.
What I thought was not egregious, but kind of stupid, was after they killed all the flies or ants or whatever, and they were burning them. It just looked really bad.
Oh yeah, it did. I looked away at that point.
I'm like,
At that point, the episode was done, and I was like, I'm done with this.
I was done with it 10 minutes before that.
I mean, I made myself laugh with the Black Dynamite joke. I got my Death March ants thing as he shot the flies down.
Yeah, you got
I was-
those 3 jokes and you're done.
I was satisfied with
Bam,
it.
bam, boom.
And then our dog girl had things to say, and we pretty much just ignored her.
Yeah, I wonder if she's gonna come back.
I mean, her dad is probably going to show up. We've
Yeah.
talked about him enough.
She isn't particularly funny, so I'm
It's
okay if she
true.
doesn't. The
I mean,
dad,
mostly she just whinges about, like, Seiya doesn't fight right.
yeah. I was hoping she'd be a funny character when she was introduced, but my hopes were crushed. Let's hope
Yeah.
more for the dad. I don't think that's gonna be particularly interesting either. None of the
knows?
non-gods have been particularly interesting.
It's true. They really haven't. But yeah, that was a Cautious Hero. I don't
Yeah.
think they set anything up for, oh, well, the tortoise thing.
Yeah.
So we are possibly going to see him fight a summoner or go back home to train, assuming the summoner is going to be strong in
Oh,
some
thank
way.
God, I
that
hope he goes back to train.
I would, yeah. I just want to see what's going on with Valkyrie. We set her up like 3 episodes ago now, and we have not done anything with her. So I'm really hoping that she's going to be an interesting, god to play off of.
I want her to show up and just start flirting with Rista immediately.
Just ignore Seiya entirely, flirt with Restart.
Yeah, that's why he has to cross-dress in order to get him to be trained by her in whatever she does.
That would be
I
interesting.
assume it has something to do with chains. Oh, hence the summoning, because you chain a summon and they become yours.
That's a stretch.
If it's
I feel
right,
like that's
it is a stretch, but if it's right, it'll be the stupidest thing ever. I don't want to
Which
be
is-
right.
kind of on par for this show.
Yeah.
I don't really want you to be right either, but I wouldn't be entirely surprised if you weren't.
And to my surprise, I was completely wrong about everything that came up with Orisuke.
Yeah. There was like nothing, there was like no conflict in this whole thing, basically.
The conflict was, you bought something for me. This actually happened twice. You bought something for me that made me mad.
Yeah.
Once,
The conflict was Jorah's an idiot, first of all.
Yes. Well, we've already established that last episode.
Yeah. Well, we have to establish it again, because Jorah
Once
continues to be he was a dickhead twice in this episode.
At least he
I don't
apologized
understand
second
Jorah.
time.
I mean, kind of. Jorah's just an asshole this whole time.
He agrees with you, too.
He does, but he was an asshole anyways, which is the disappointing thing. Like, just don't. It's not that hard. It's really not. We were wrong about a lot of things as I think about it.
But yeah, where to start? So the whole payback thing did not come up at all this episode.
Uh-huh.
Instead, she just
Well, is quite
was.
possibly just her trying to pay him back legitimately.
This is
She
true.
might be genuinely into him.
Which I kind of called.
You did.
Not about the rest of the stuff, but I kind of called that part.
It would be interesting because we had Jorah who doubted her at first and then came to believe like she just is genuinely into me. but we as the audience doubted her. Like by the end of the episode, we were still like, "Nah, she's not into you,
There's
dude.
something
She's
wrong.
playing you." Maybe she just is. Like it's a
Yeah,
giant red herring.
she just of all the four girls, she's just the most genuine. Or
Yeah,
she just likes Jaro.
it would be an interesting kind of thing.
It'd be
Um,
strange,
it would be.
but
But yeah, so she gives him a job, and we see him working the job and messing up at the job,
and then getting
and
better at the job.
getting better at the job. And mostly the conflict comes in two components. First, where we see Pansy again
Yeah,
because she wants to have like a real talk with Joro, so
real
she dressed
talk.
as herself.
Yep.
And so they meet up, and oh my God, what does she say? She
Uh,
basically says like, "I don't like that you're working a job for all the wrong reasons. Like you're
okay.
working this job for stupid reasons, and it feels pointless. Like you're not doing this for me, you're doing this for yourself
Which
because all of your friends are doing things and you're not."
I would argue with that and say that's a decent reason. Like, if you're kind of bored and like you feel shitty and you want to work a job, then you should work a job.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think he's working a job because he wants to work a job. He's working a job because he just wants to be able to say he does something. Like he's not
Okay,
doing it
I can see
because like
that.
I want to have a job. Like I can understand if he was like, I just want to have a job, bitch. Like I don't care what you think of me. I want to have this job. I'd be like, all right, Joro can do whatever he wants. Like he's a man
Yeah,
and a
but
human being.
come from Pansy though, I felt that was more like her trying to be very controlling. Because we already established that she's kind of controlling.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I kind of agreed with her because I Joro is doing this last time when we agreed like you're just being a dickhead. Like he's
Yeah,
literally doing it for himself. The entire point of this is let me show you how good of a person I am so that I can fix the thing that I broke. As Pansy is saying, I literally do
don't
not
care.
care. We find out it's not even about the book.
Just long
It
as
was,
the bookmark is readable.
yeah, it was literally not about the book at all in any way, but he
Which
has to buy the book again.
I was kind of upset by.
I was too, I'll be
I
honest.
was really hoping that book was going to slice your ding dong off.
Yeah, I like that was entirely what I wanted it to be. It was like he gets to the end and is like, "Wow, that was a good book." And Penn's like, "Really? You didn't see the glaringly obvious metaphor?"
Not even meta. Well, yeah, because there was no metaphor. It was just the thing she wrote.
I
Like,
wanted to be, I wanted so desperately for it to be like, "Let this book be a lesson on why you always date the yandere girl" or something like that. Or like date your stalkers, kids is the moral of the story.
yeah.
And he's like, "That was just a good book."
To be fair to Joro, it's supposed to be a very expensive book, so I could see why he kind of wants to like replace it
I mean,
a
yeah,
little
but
bit.
again, it's literally
And then it
not
gets
about
yeah,
the
it
book.
gets taken to the nth degree. Yeah, literally nothing about this was about the book. God
Pansy,
damn it.
when he tells her last episode, she's like, "Okay, it's literally not about the book. It does not matter. All you have to do is look through the book and find the thing that is not in the book that is the only component of this that's important." But yeah, he is a dickhead about it. But yeah,
She should also told him
so
at that, whatever.
whatever. She could have, but I don't know.
High school kids are
Um,
stupid.
high school kids are stupid, and the book was still legible. It was just the cover
Yeah,
was
what's the
messed up.
cover? That was the stupidest part.
So she probably looked at it and was like, "Oh, you'll still be able to read it and find the bookmark." So I'm not too concerned. Um,
But up
but yeah,
next,
so
sorry.
he tells Pansy basically fuck off
Yeah,
at the end of this.
I'll
Don't
do what I
understand
want.
why.
I don't know either.
I think he was just feeling like self-conscious that he got called out on his like
I think he
shitty
says
reason
that.
for working.
He says exactly that.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he just felt
She's seen right
self-conscious.
through me. You
You
don't bitch,
unzip
get out of
me.
here.
Froggy, I gotta find Froggy.
Oh, you unzipped me.
Yeah. So he gets unzipped and freaks out and tells Pansy fuck off. And
It's
so
not
she
the
goes
first
back to
time.
like ice mode.
Actually, well, that's not the last time in this episode.
It is not. And then we have yeah, so he works the job, he ends up getting sad about like I was mean to Pansy and now she doesn't acknowledge me. And so he's
Yeah.
sad that his friend is basically giving him the cold shoulder that he requested.
Yeah.
So he ends
Oh,
up meeting
Joe's
some
such a
random
fucking
kid.
idiot.
Jorah's an absolute fucking idiot. He meets some kid in a park and he basically has a nice conversation with the kid on a bench about why he's so much of a fuck, basically is what their conversation is.
Wow, dude, you're kind of an idiot. Oh,
Yeah.
I am.
Am I the asshole? The random
Yes.
kid he's sitting next to, yes.
From what
Joro,
for
I have seen the light.
from what you've told me, 100%. Oh,
Yeah,
because I've heard this from a man. Now I will understand.
exactly. Joro confirmed slightly misogynistic. But yeah, so he guys kind of comes to understand like I've been doing the wrong things for all the wrong reasons. But he goes back to his job, finishes up, like gets enough money to buy the book, goes off to buy the book, and finds out that it's already been purchased by some girl.
Yep.
At this point, I was kind of expecting it to be Pansy, but it turns out it's in fact Himawari,
Hmm.
who has decided to use the money she was saving up to buy a new racket to instead buy the book for Joro.
To give it to Joro, but Joro's pissed off because she wasn't practicing because she bought the
Yeah.
book and then all this other stuff.
Mhm.
Tells her to fuck off. Immediately says, "Oh shit, I'm an asshole again. Let
Yeah.
me apologize real quick."
And this is the part where, like, with the Pansy stuff, like, it was dumb, but, he had the whole side of, like,
Slightly understandable.
yeah.
Enough to buy into his
His, like,
anger-ish.
when he was yelling at Himawari, I was actually kind of annoyed because, like, he's basically, the whole point of his yelling at her is, why do you care so much about me? You should care more about tennis and all this other stuff. He deserved to get smacked. Like, you don't get to decide for somebody else, like, this is where your priority should be. I can't believe you think that I'm more important than this other thing that I value and you don't. Like, your priority should be here. Bitch, you don't get to decide where my priorities are. If my priorities are my friends and not my fucking, the sport I play, that's my fucking decision. You don't get to decide for me. Like, Zoro was a fucking misogynistic dickhead in this part of the episode. And it was sort of insufferable.
At least he learned his lesson.
Kind of. I don't even think he did.
I don't
He
know.
just learned that not to be mean to women, kind of. Definitely did not learn, like, maybe I shouldn't tell somebody else what their priorities are. Maybe when somebody else tells me that they're more important than tennis, I should just listen to them and accept that that's the facts. Um, but yeah, so Joro and Himawari end up making up basically as they both decide, like, they're too good of friends to be mad at each other forever, I guess.
Whatever. He
Uh,
buys her the racket.
yeah, he
End
buys her a
episode.
racket for tennis.
Oh wait, no. There's something more.
Yeah, she ends up going off to the tennis match.
Oh right, and
Definitely should have lost. 100% should have lost.
she didn't practice. It was all her fault.
Exactly. She should have just lost. She didn't practice. It's just bullshit.
Wait, did she win? Actually, I thought that was the start
She
of the
did
match.
win.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know. We see her start the match, and then they see them celebrating, and I think they say, like, you did it.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations. So I'm assuming she won her match. Um, and then, what else happens? What am I forgetting?
We have the last important part, which is the start of the next arc, which is
Oh,
the first
yeah.
year girl asking Joro on the bench to hook Pansy and Sunchan up.
Son. Yeah. I don't understand why this is going to be a conflict.
I don't know
Like,
either. Well, it's
I
already a
don't
conflict
understand.
because Pansy doesn't like Sun at all.
Yeah.
So I can see
I mean,
that
I understand
part.
from that perspective how it's
But
going to
like,
be a conflict.
why does this matter to her? I
Yeah.
think that's where
And
this
why
lies.
would Joro accept this? Why
Yeah.
is the response not immediately, they're not into each other?
You're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get blackmailed again. He'll say, I don't care. And then she'll say, like, I'll tell people whatever, whatever.
Probably, but still, like, it's just so.
It's a tease. So I guess I can't, like, take it at face value just yet.
Uh-huh.
We've yet to see why. So I think we'll see what happens. And this might be our last arc,
It might be.
right? Yeah.
It'll probably be something like, hook them up, and then the subtext is, like, in the play that we're putting on, or something like that. We're like, get them to play the two main characters, or something like that.
I could see that. But that wouldn't be a really, like, an issue? Really?
I mean, yeah,
Ask both
but
of them?
maybe Pansy doesn't want to, like, be the main character, so he has to, like, convince her to be the main character, and then
But then once
convince her,
again, like, what's in it for him? Like, why does he have to do it?
I don't know, dude.
Like I said, we have to wait for the next episode to see.
We had the entire fucking newspaper arc that I thought was retarded and didn't make sense. An entire arc which could have literally been finished by, yeah, go ahead and print that article. We'll literally just call you a liar to your face and be done with it. But I don't know. So yeah, we're setting up for an arc which I'm already fucking inclined to think is retarded, but we'll see how that works out.
Definitely.
And the gal character continues to just be like a side thing that
Yeah,
a side piece that
even though she's
happens
like the
every once in a
funniest
while.
one.
Yeah.
It's so
There's
cute.
like an entire little moment of she shows up to the chicken place that he works at,
Her
and
friends make or like teaser. Ah, that was
yeah,
funny.
they make her show up alone so that it looks like she's come to spend time with Joro, and they all come in and basically tease her about the fact that the guy that she's into is working and serving them, and
Just
as they
making
leave,
it
she
very
gets to act all
obvious.
yeah. As they leave, she gets to act all tsundere and be like, "I'll come back later if I feel like it." Um, I forget when we had the black and white cut in Joro if he realized what was going on then. I feel like I was upset with him, so I feel like the answer is no. He didn't realize what was going on, but I mean, the subtext is so obvious.
There's no subtext. They
It's just
yelled it. They
text.
yelled it out.
Yeah, it's just text. It's just
Hey,
there.
girl, isn't that the guy over there you like? I am saying in a normal speaking voice.
Voice. Yeah. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's all part of Joro's plan to develop the perfect harem. Who knows?
I still want that. I want it to go. I want the arc or the plot to go back to that, where he's just
The
trying to
harem development.
Yeah, just him manipulating everyone.
I just want dickhead black and white Joro to come back more often and to be
Yeah.
more of a dickhead. But instead, we're gonna get some stupid contrived arcs about Pansy and Sunshine next. Although hopefully we'll get to see good guy Sunshine some more, because the first three with bad guy Sunshine was less fun and more rapey.
Yeah. And we might also get the two pink and blue haired girl and then the other kid. They're
Yeah,
like their own little posse, I think.
yeah. Who presumably went to the same school, because I think that the girls had this like same style
Yeah,
uniform
they
as
have
the
this
guy.
like same color scheme.
Yeah.
There's probably gonna be like
So
there might be a culture festival going on where they like all start interacting.
a team up between schools kind of thing.
Yeah, that
Maybe
that would play into your whole. They have to group up in this fucking play thing.
that would, yeah.
Also, we'll see what happens with that. Are you
But
ready to
yeah,
play some
so
dodgeball?
I'm ready to play some yeah monster dodgeball.
Some monster fucking dodgeball with Iruma-kun.
Chain chomp dodgeball is
Yeah,
basically what it is.
or we get the first half of the movie dodgeball in the episode.
Yes,
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a dodgeball.
exactly. So Iruma has decided he's going to level up,
To
and
bet,
Alice is like, "You've decided to become the Demon Lord. Perfect." And
he
Iruma's like,
says to the
"No,
whole
dude,
world.
just level 2. Just gonna go up one level." And Alice is like, "I don't understand, but it's not for me to understand as your underling. Your wish is my command, sire." So Alice is basically going slightly crazy, but has decided to assist Aruma in his leveling up. And the best way to level up at the moment is by winning this dodgeball thing that's
Yeah,
going to go on.
passing the exam, which is the dodgeball tournament or a thing.
Yeah. hmm Which, if you win, you may or may not go up in a rank based on your ranks and some other stuff.
Oh, now that's a weird way to do an exam. But I'm not.
The whole rank thing is kind of weird. I mean,
Yeah.
there's only 10 levels, and Alice is already at 4. So, like, if Alice won, if he went up to 5, that's like almost halfway to 10, which is the Demon Lord level. So, like, the author really kind of messed himself up with the whole, like, there's only 10 levels, and then realized real early on, like, that doesn't give me a lot of room to place people. Oh, fuck.
It could be like a logarithmic thing where it gets harder and harder to get or earn a level.
I mean, that's basically what it is.
Yeah. All
Where,
right.
like, it's kind of easy to amass the first couple levels, and then, like, as it goes on, they have to spend more and more time at a level before going up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've seen Alice ever go up a level.
Oh, so he's still 480
He's for
chapters in?
as far as I've gone in the manga so far.
Okay.
Um,
Spoilers.
I mean, yeah. Yes. Spoilers. Alice does not make it up to level 5 out of 10 yet. And they still have God knows how many years of this high school. 2 or 3. So, yeah. But, Aruma has decided he wants to level up, and they're going to train in dodgeball. Because Demon Dodgeball is a blood sport, basically, where back in the day it used to be used to decide conflicts between people, where they threw chain chomps at each other that devoured your flesh, and the first person to basically devour, the other team's whole clan won. And it was this whole, blood sport of kill each other. And then somewhere along the way, they kind of realized, like, maybe this isn't the best way to decide
Why don't you just
things.
use normal balls?
Maybe genocide isn't the way to go.
That'd be
So,
genocide, just a lot of murder.
I mean, if you decide like each clan is basically like a family sort of thing, and you're
Okay.
killing off like all of a clan, it's kind of genocide-y.
I wonder if there's actually,
Um,
I wonder if there's a word for that, like famicide or something.
Famicide. I like it.
You know, like the side of a family.
The side, yeah, basically the killing of a. It would probably be like clanicide or something. The killing of a clan.
Nah, it's gotta be like some weird Latin or Greek root.
That's
We'll
true, but
figure
I
this
don't know
out
what the
later.
Latin or Greek root for clan is.
Can't be
Um,
patricide because that's killing of a father.
that's killing your dad.
Yeah, which we know Iruma-kun doesn't want to do.
No,
Well, not his adopted dad.
his grandfather. But so he goes off to learn how to basically play dodgeball first from his grandfather, who teaches him,
How to cheat.
yeah, how to cheat and do the dragon throw. It decides like this is good enough. You can't lose with that.
Yep,
So
just do
just
that.
throw that and you'll win.
But Iruma
TKO.
is not satisfied. He wants to win from with his own strength.
Mhm.
So his grandpa hands him over to Opera, who then will teach him. And then Opera just starts like shooting balls at 100 miles an hour at his face.
Yeah, Opera is only mildly sadistic. So it's not that he enjoys watching specifically Aruma-kun in pain. He just sort of enjoys watching people suffer sometimes. So he throws balls and, decides like I'm going to act like I'm being a good person and be like, "Yes, I'm doing this to help you," as he throws balls at 100 miles an hour that Aruma can't really catch yet. But Aruma with the ultimate dodging skill can jump out of the way
Wah,
but
wah, wah.
can't convince himself to actually stand in the way of the ball and catch it.
Yep,
So they have to train Aruma how to basically not dodge.
exactly. And he has his own little Rocky segment where he goes running, does some sit-ups,
Mhm.
tries catching, and that's
Yeah,
basically
we
it.
we basically transform into a full-on sports anime for 2 episodes now.
Yeah.
So we've got this one with some very inspiring training music as he gets better, and we get the shot of him like finally succeeding at the thing that he was training all this time for as the music really like reaches a crescendo. Very classic sports anime stuff.
Yeah, you get
And
the
then
sleeping next to a tree thing
outside
with your friends because you're tired, blah, blah, blah.
we get to see like how much it's affected you as your hands are sort of messed up so you can't quite grip the water bottle. Yeah, it goes the full 9 yards of this is a sports anime for 2 episodes. But yeah, so Aruma can now catch the ball successfully, and he's really trained hard, and his friends have seen him train hard, and they know what's coming. So next episode we get the dodgeball fight, and all the other students from the abnormal class are interested in what's going on because they see Aruma training hard, so they're all interested, and they're gonna, give it their best shot next episode.
Yep, they're all using their magic. Like
Yeah,
Sabadoc is, well, Sabadoc's just throwing
strong.
it. Yeah, he's just throwing shit.
Yeah,
The sleepy guy is using his earth powers to catch the ball or like knock him away so he doesn't wake up.
hmm
Ice Girl is just icing everything. I'm not sure what
we
the
have
others do.
Windblade Kid.
Yeah, fucking breaking the rules and breaking the goddamn dodgeball like a fucking
I
idiot.
don't know what's in the rules.
Or whatever. I'm pretty sure I know what's in the rules. It's dodgeball.
I
I don't think you can break the fucking dodgeball. I wonder
mean,
what
it's demon
happens if you
dodgeball.
break it. Does that count as a hit? Because you technically didn't catch it.
Uh, I don't know.
It'd be interesting.
I guess
We'd
yeah,
have to go
technically it
to
would count as a hit. It hit your sword and you didn't catch it.
we'd have to visit the Ocho to find out
Yeah,
and get their take on this.
the American Dodgeball Association of America.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're gonna play some Demon Dodgeball next episode
Should be fun.
against the whole class.
Oh, also Babylon isn't here anymore.
Yeah, Babylon's not here anymore.
Completely
That's why
forgot
we
that.
didn't talk about it
Yeah.
way back in the beginning of the episode.
It'll be
Yeah,
coming back in 3 weeks, about.
about
Yep.
3 or 4 weeks. Um, it's weird not having an episode of Babylon to watch.
There's a lot of sugar and not enough whatever Babylon is.
Not enough wild speculation about things.
Well, speculation, just darkness.
Yeah. Um, I mean, there's not much to say about anything there,
Yep.
other than I want it to come back so very desperately. And if they don't release it all at once, I'm going to
It's gonna
commit
suck.
murder.
Oh, don't do that. It's legal.
Oh God, that whole stupid city is so dumb. Um, but yeah, Did they ever give a reason why they were delaying it, or did they just say like, "Yeah, we're going to delay it"?
No idea.
Okay, they didn't come out with like production issues or something.
Nope. But I
There's a
guess
hurricane.
yeah, there's a 3 week long hurricane hitting us right now.
Yeah,
But
we just didn't pay the electric bill this month.
I guess now's the time. Better now is a time better than any other to go to our last segment, and that's sellouts. What would you like to sell out to today?
Um, I'm going to sell out to my stomach and thank it for the punishment I put it through recently.
Oh my god.
As I went to, we went for back-to-backs on volume eating days, where I gorged myself on Thanksgiving and then turned around and gorged myself the next day on
Korean barbecue.
Korean barbecue. So shout out to you, my stomach. I'm sorry for what I've done to you recently,
You should fucking shout out to your asshole.
but it was delicious, and I don't regret it at all. I It was absolutely worth it.
It was definitely tasty.
It was very good. So
Uh,
shout out to my stomach.
I would like to sell out to any liars out there. I like what you do. Keep doing it. Never give up on the truth. Never give up on lying, because the truth just sucks. If you're gonna play a game, always lie. That's my motto.
Lie constantly and endlessly.
Even when people find out you're lying, just keep going.
Double down.
Double
Lie
down,
harder.
because they'll think they'll have hope that you won't lie, and then it'll be crushed because you'll keep lying, and then everyone's gonna gang up on you, and then fucking screw you
Gang up
over.
on you as you lie aggressively, and I call you out on it all the time.
It was everyone else's fault. It's not my fault. Lying is part of the game. I should be allowed to do it.
I mean, you were allowed to do it, and I'm allowed to tell you you're lying. Face.
Uh, Shout out to most importantly, shout out to Sheriff Nottingham, a fun little board
Yeah.
game where you lie. Well, you don't have
Brand
to lie,
lies.
but I lie because it's fun.
Brand lies constantly. I think I was right every time but the first time about when you were lying. Because I called you out every other time, but every other round except for the first time, except for the one round I let you go and you were telling the truth.
I didn't want to actually tell the truth that time, but I thought you were gonna check my stuff.
I really
Right.
thought about it, and then I, yeah, settled into the just let him go for friends.
Anyways, thank you for listening.
You know, I usually have a send out here, but you know, audience, you're never there for me. I feel like we don't connect anymore. You need to try harder.
Yeah, tell
Reach
them
out
what
to
their
me,
priorities
audience.
should be, Nick. Do exactly what you just said not to.
You should care more about your sports and less about me. Actually, care more about me and less about your sports. Do it the other way around from what Joro said.